My boyfriend SA'd me and I don't know what to do. So yeah, the title is serious. There's no exaggerating going on here. So this is going to be a tough one to read for you, but we are doing it because I think it's really important to talk about these sort of things. But I can't say it because YouTube really dislikes it when you say certain words in the first like 30 seconds or a minute in the video. But a situation, like it said in the title, is being described and it's going to be very easy to paint a picture of what it looks like, okay? I just wanted to say that beforehand. Like, I can understand if you don't want to do that right now, but let's just do it. So I've never used Reddit before and I don't know why this is the place I chose to tell, but long story short, she's 20, boyfriend 23 assaulted me last night. We were in his bed, cuddling, just watching a movie, and he started to kiss on my neck and stuff. I had this absolutely terrible day at work and just wasn't feeling up to it. So I told him no, pushed him away, and tried to go back to watching the movie. Mind you, I don't usually do this. I'm usually very open and initiate sexy time pretty often. I'm kind of mentally preparing myself for what comes next. But this is good so far, right? She said no when she doesn't want to. There's a lot of girls especially who feel like they can't say no because they feel like that's some sort of, like they can't deny that from their boyfriends, or they don't want to seem, I don't know, difficult. I don't really know why, but some people just have trouble saying no when you are perfectly within your right to say no to that sort of thing if you're just not up for it, okay? And if someone doesn't respect that, then they shouldn't be someone that you do that sort of stuff with, if you know what I'm saying. One of my exes actually had that happened where she said no and he just kept going anyway. And I mean, she didn't do anything with it and they stayed together because it's really tough to break up. And you're like, oh, but we've been together for so long. This girl uses that as well. But like, that is grounds for leaving. That should be worse than cheating, right? For me, cheating is a no-go. You cheat once, that's a line you cross that's never going to get repaired again. This is worse. This is way worse. This is more than enough to leave and report to the police, okay? But she was, I don't know if she was scared, but she just didn't want to fight it, but she just didn't want to have sex either. He just did it anyway. Gentlemen, control yourself, okay? No, I'm gonna get to the tirade later, because I'm pissed off, okay? So get ready for that. He pulled away from me, and when I tried to say something to him to explain, he just told me to shut up and that he didn't know why I was being a prude. I tried to explain that my bad day, which was the whole reason I was at his place in the first place, just ruined my mood and I wasn't feeling anything. He got this weird look in his eyes and just started kissing me, ignoring any attempts to push him away. He kept telling me, you want this, you love me, you'll do this for me, over and over again, even as I was kicking at him and struggling. He just held me down and kept going, the entire time repeating it. You want this, you love me, you'll do this for me. It was unnerving. When it was over, I just lay in my usual spot on the bed, let him clean me up and went to bed. This morning, it's like he doesn't remember what happened or is just choosing to ignore it. I can't look at him, but I love him, and this has never happened before. We've been together for 3 years and I just don't know what to do. This has never happened before. I believe that, but that doesn't change anything. And the 3 years, it doesn't change anything. I'm saying it because he just raped you. That's what he did. This is not a oh, it's a lapse of judgment, or maybe he didn't know. He knows what he's doing. You said clear to him that you do not want this and he did it anyway. There's no debate here, okay? You want this, you love me, you'll do this for me. Can you imagine actually thinking that, actually saying that as you are actively raping someone? Just imagine how selfish you actually have to be to do this sort of stuff, right? You completely disregard any of your girlfriend's feelings or wants or needs. You just think only about your penis and the pleasure that it should have. You cannot stay with him, right? You say that this has never happened before. But like I said, that doesn't change the thing, because now he'll just do it again, because apparently he can. At least he thinks that. Of course he can't, but he thinks that he can do that. So who says that it's not gonna happen again? Who says that maybe he won't do something worse next time? Clearly he's not boyfriend material. He's not capable of being a good boyfriend, because if he's just willing to rape you like that, then that's not someone you should spend your time with at all. I want to make it clear that I'm not mad at her, right? I understand I sound kind of aggressive and passionate, but that's not towards her. That's just at the situation. Because I feel very bad for her. I can only like imagine what it's like to actually have that happen to you, because I'm very fortunate to not know. You can't do this, man. Gentlemen, if you can jerk off. If you need to get it over with, which I think is kind of sad anyway, because how little control do you have over your urges? But like, let's say you just gotta get it off. Just jerk off in the shower, whatever, right? Go somewhere else and get it over with. I don't understand how you're able to do this. Like, I get it, being horny kind of like makes you think less sober, kind of like being drunk, but that doesn't give you any excuse at all to do this sort of stuff. Another perspective to consider in addition to those already mentioned: do you really want to spend any more of your time with someone who tells you to shut up when you're wanting comfort, who has no regard for you as a person? I know it's difficult, but leaving after 3 years is better than leaving after 5, 10 or 20 years. This isn't your person. Check in with your own inner wise adult. You deserve better. And it's normal to feel all sorts of conflicting feelings about this. Allow yourself to feel your feelings and then figure out what action you're going to take. The whole repeating thing is proof it was all premeditated. He anticipated you'd refuse him, so he started some kind of freaky brainwashing thing that he likely learned from sketch people somewhere. Report him immediately and then never see him again. I agree. I mean, maybe it wasn't as premeditated as you make it seem, but I'm definitely not denying that it's a possibility. Report him and leave. Yes, you cannot, or you can, but it's wise to be as fast as possible with reporting when something like this happens to you, because the longer you wait, the tougher it's going to be to prove for anything to happen. Someone else here says to go to a hospital, get a rape kit, and then at least a restraining order. At least. If this has happened to you, first of all, I'm very sorry. Secondly, like I said, try and report it as fast as possible. Even if you don't have a lot of proof or any at all, just make sure to report it anyway. Just because, right? And don't let anyone ever tell you, especially the one who did it to you, that you are somehow wrong for feeling repulsed, for not wanting to be with that person anymore. Because I think the boyfriend, hopefully ex by now, is gonna say something like, oh, it was a one-time thing, or I wasn't feeling myself, right? Or you were overreacting, right? There's like, don't let someone like that ever manipulate you into thinking that you are invalid for feeling certain emotions when you've just been raped, right? You get to feel the most angry, sad and conflicted of all time. You have the right especially to feel those sort of things, and you can't let anyone tell you that you're crazy for that, because you're not. Can't believe it. How do you think that you can do something like this? Like, I just can't reach it with my mind, the thought process behind it. Like, I know it's because you want the pleasure and you just don't care for someone else's feelings at all, but I don't really understand how, because how can that be pleasurable when someone is struggling and fighting and kicking, right? How is that something you like? I don't understand it. What gives you the right to their body when they do not consent? What gives you the right? Huh? Who are you? You actually feel good about? Do you feel good about yourself now? Eh? You got the pleasure for like 2 minutes or however long he holds up, and then and now she has trauma. Good. Now, are you happy now? Is that what you wanted? Huh? You get that little, because you have so little self-control, you just really wanted that pleasure on your pee-pee, right? You are a child when it comes to emotional control and impulse control. You have no agency over yourself, so you just decide to have agency over others without their consent, because you get to do that, right? Because you are so incredibly weak mentally, right? That you just decide that this is something you're gonna do. You're a weak man, that's what you are. Weak. Maybe not physically. Wow, you could overpower your girlfriend. Great, man. That's so good for you. You're weak. But yeah, I am gonna end this video here, because otherwise I'll just get more angry, and I don't think that's gonna help anyone. Okay, so I appreciate you being here. Seek help. You know, you're allowed to do that, and you are justified in doing that if you've experienced something similar to this, right? Say one more time, don't let anyone manipulate you into feeling like you shouldn't get help, or you shouldn't leave someone for something like this, because there's pretty much no clearer thing that you are justified for in leaving, right? There's pretty much nothing that's more like this happened so you leave that makes perfect sense. This is one of the biggest ones. You may love that person, but they clearly don't love you and they don't care for your well-being at all. Don't stay with that. It'll break you from the inside and the outside until you're nothing left. Yeah, I don't know. Jesus Christ is Lord. Goodbye.